Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Drop Frames. Going in the second half here of the show. The internet is ablaze with and
Ablaze.
Zeke's grown somehow. He's gotten bigger. He's hulking out right now.
Oh, I'm huge. Oh,
Oh wait, that's
carnage,
not
I
it.
will eat you.
Ah. No, we'll shrink
That
it down.
actually worked really
Yeah,
well.
yeah, we'll shrink him down. No, people.
Internet's on fire. No one can save it but Twitch.
It's true. No, they're the ones that lit the fire. I think that's what's
Oh, that's
going
right.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair
Let's
point.
jump into it. Twitch sub only. So you guys have the blog open. I watched the partner seminar yesterday. What are they? What's the official? Is it subscriber streams? Is that what they're called? What are they called?
Yep.
I'm gonna pull up the
Substream.
Twitch blog. Substreams. Okay.
They're capitalizing subscriber streams, so that's the official title of it.
Okay.
SS.
All right.
SS. It's the SS. Tell you what, it's the whole. Gonna get to my conspiracy theory.
Okay. People seemed my quick glance at the internet seems people are not super excited about this. Is that kind of you guys might have been browsing the internet during the break and towards the end of the last segment? How are you guys what's the general consensus? What's the heartbeat of the community saying right now? They're speechless.
I mean, do you want to? I mean,
They're speechless.
one of my regular viewers, name's KevBot, had a very accurate portrayal of how I'm going to be.
Uh-huh.
He replied to the Twitch post on Twitter saying, "I'm just here for the memes." And just like that's kind of how I feel. I'm like, I'm waiting to see like what people come up with and like the haterade that people are just gonna be splashing all over this fucking shit, even though it's like an optional thing. And like, I remember when subscriber, you could do subscriber only chat when that came out.
Oh god,
and a few people and people were just like, "Fuck that, never gonna happen." And then a few people I knew doing it, namely Man vs. Game was obviously the one I knew the most.
Right.
When he did it for the while that he did, it didn't affect anything. It didn't affect his viewership. It didn't affect like his blah blah. But this is a whole different animal. I mean, like blocking off your entire stream, do nothing but sub.
Right.
Actually, I'm curious. They say that if a non-subscriber comes to a channel playing a subscriber stream, that they'll get a preview.
They get a 5-minute preview.
Yeah, so that quickly leads to the like, okay, so what if you're just not logged into Twitch? Like, is
You
an
can't
IP
view it
thing?
at
Like,
all.
what are you gonna do that?
If you're not logged in into an active account, you can't view it at all.
Oh,
It's
okay,
just-
so it's going to actually do it per account. So then
Yeah.
you could just make a bunch of accounts and log into them every 5 minutes.
I love that you're saying this because this is the first thing that I said yesterday when I saw it was like, wait a minute, so people could just make a new account and watch 5 minutes of content each time, and they're like, yeah, I guess if you really wanted to.
Okay,
But I mean,
so
yeah,
I wonder how long it'll take for the first little web portal comes up that you just put in a Twitch stream and it just like logs you into a random account every 5 minutes and you don't need to do anything. You're just sitting there. Anyway,
that's a lot of work
here's
though.
the thing. Now, I kind of think that sub streams are cool for partners that want to take advantage of that. It's more tools in the toolbox, whatever. I personally, this is not something that I would use, just like I don't use sub mode often. But am I going to get mad that other people have options to do their stuff? No, whatever. What if a big YouTuber wants to have some big explosive start on Twitch and wants to do a sub-only stream to start it, and they broadcast that to the 3 million people? Whatever. I'm not going to yell at them for that, right? Don't yuck their yum. That's cool. You do you. What if people want to do special events and sell sub-only streams like tickets? Cool. Okay, that's fine. But here's what I will say. I'm a little surprised that they're advertising it like a new feature, because the only thing that this is cool. You might have to pay for the exact same thing that you're getting for free right now. And it's like, that really doesn't get anyone excited. Like, that's not something like for the public to get excited about. It's not a new thing. It's not like streamers are going to be doing, like I feel it's the kind of thing that we all should have gotten in an email on the back end, and not necessarily like this is going to be awesome. Like, let's do it. Because I feel like that's the wrong way to go about it.
I don't think I agree with that. I think that Twitch is just saying that, hey, this is a thing that exists, and it's on the streamers to be the one, if they're putting it on their stream, to be like, It's just like same thing that happened with bits, right? It's well, not the exact same thing, but similar in the sense like Twitch is providing a feature, so they're going to talk about it and try to give as much questions as possible, but they're not the ones turning it on a stream. The streamer's turning it on a stream. So
True.
could you be mad at Twitch for providing this? I guess if you're kind of a crazy person and you're just trying to be like outragey, but I don't know if you can.
Well, like I said, like it's not something that's the thing. Like the heart of the announcement, I feel, isn't really something to get angry about because again, it's just a tool in a toolbox for a streamer to use. And like you're saying, you can get mad at a streamer for using it, but you can't really get mad at Twitch for giving them the option. Like that's because I
agree with that.
Everyone wants as many options as we can get with this kind of thing. So
and again,
I mean, I'm kind of, as you can tell, I'm kind of neutral about the whole thing.
I think we all are. Yeah.
Yeah. To each their own.
Yeah. I think that the statement, can you get mad at a streamer for turning it on?
You can get frustrated with them.
I think you can get frustrated with the fact that you can't watch their content anymore unless you're a sub. Yeah. But yeah.
You can get frustrated at the fact that you are not getting something you want, but at the same time, it is every streamer's prerogative to run their channel and show however they want to.
Right.
So I mean, it's a weird situation because at heart, theoretically, the content we produce is free, but by having a sub-only stream, that is essentially assigning a direct value per watch time to it, and that's kind of gray area for a lot of folks.
Right.
So
I think my line of thought of can you get mad at a streamer for turning it on? I think I'm having the problem of like, no, because I'm not going to watch them and just move forward. So like, that's me. I can't speak for everyone else, but yeah, if someone that I'm used to watching turns on sub only and I'm not a subscriber, like, okay, I'm not going to watch them anymore. Let's move on.
Exactly.
Like that,
my point exactly.
Yeah.
You still get to watch it for 5 minutes. Hell,
Sure,
I don't.
yeah.
Most of the streams I'm sub to, I don't get an opportunity to watch more than 5 minutes.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, that's
Zeke.
what I'm saying. Like it just kind of displays the kind of person that you're watching. It just depending on how they go about it. It'll give you an insight as to who the person is, like that you're watching if they do lots of different subscriber only streams.
Mm-hmm.
If I watch someone on a regular basis and I'm used to watching them for free, I'm already a sub. Even if I'm already a sub and they start doing a lot of subscriber only streams just to gain revenue rather than as a special event or something like that. Like I can understand having a special event. Like this show is for my subs and I totally get that. But if it starts becoming like their regular stream, then I would know like this might not be a person I want to watch.
Well, that and maybe I'm completely wrong. Who knows? It's untested. But I really feel like if you're a sub-only streamer, I don't know how long that's going to last. If that makes sense. Like,
Yeah, sure.
Unless you have, I can't even think of a situation that would actually make sense. I guess in a couple like really extreme cases I could, but I don't know if that could actually exist on this platform just yet.
And let's nip this fucking bullshit in the bud right the fuck now.
Okay.
As far as
What are we
TOS violations, like people are saying like people can hide behind a paywall and there's going to be TOS violations. That's not going to fucking happen.
Shouldn't happen.
Because people are not going to fuck with their revenue stream. Like I'm not going to tempt fate on my goddamn career.
Right.
Like the shit that pays me. Because I think maybe like people won't clip it. They can still clip it and make it public. Read the post.
Yeah.
Anybody in your
Well,
chat
also-
clip your shit and make it public. Sure,
Right.
you can delete all
Clips
that
are
stuff,
public, yes.
But what I'm saying is no one's gonna fuck with their own revenue stream because they think they can get away with more TOS violations. That's just silly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, also, one thing that I read in here that was pretty cool was the fact that they, if they get knocked off for 90 days, or if they get knocked off for a TOS violation, they have to wait 90 days, 90 streamed days,
Right.
before getting back on. One thing that's a little, I'm curious about though, does that work retroactively? Well, I guess it would have to. I was going to say, would somebody have to have 90 unique good standing days before doing a sub stream? But I guess if you have to be an affiliate or partner anyway, that means you've already gone through kind of the process at least a little bit. So
Yeah, I would think it does.
Yeah.
I would think it does. Here's the one thing that I am upset about. What are you laughing at?
Just 1 second, like
Okay.
the one Flackman, and I usually don't dog on people for misspellings and stuff, but this one was too perfect. Never understand human stupidity, Zeke. And then like a little bit later, it was like underestimate. I was like the one Flackman. I'm sorry I called you out. I understand, honest mistake, but that shit was too good to pass up. Never understand human stupidity. Underestimate. You know what I mean?
Oh God. So
That's pretty great.
as I was saying, the one thing that I am generally upset with Twitch about, when you do a subscriber only stream, it goes into your VODs and only subscribers can view those VODs, right? For the longest time, I've been asking and fucking yelling at Twitch. This is like 5 years running. My VODs are behind a sub wall because of roleplay and the way that I run roleplay as a business. That's why, so that they generate. And I would rather have my other VODs, this normal gameplay streams, not be behind that sub wall. Twitch did the opposite so that I can do sub-only streams if I can do sub-only VODs if they're sub-only streams, but I can't make a certain VOD sub-only and all other streams open. So like, for fuck's sake, just come on. It's not that hard. You already did it the reverse way. Just reverse it. Like, just do that. I don't understand why. Reverse the reverse. Yeah. I just wish they would fix that shit. But that's totally a me thing and not like, I think I'm like the 1% of streamers that actually have sub-only VODs. So I get it. I understand. But for fuck's sake.
You're the 1% of them that actually wants that feature.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Because, most people want it all or nothing. I just want like the role play VODs. Anyways, that's my only thing that I'm actually upset about. Because just, you already have it. It's right here. Just fucking Jesus. Apart from all that, I don't like, do we have anything else we want to say? Like, I think that there's going to be there already is a ton of backlash on this. I'm seeing like people just fucking going crazy right now about the fact that this exists. I don't know why they're upset. I mean, I guess I know why they're upset, but it's a stupid thing to be upset about, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't really have any other thoughts on that.
Yeah. But I just want to read this real quick. What are the requirements? 1, the streamer must have a Twitch affiliate or partner. 2, streamer must not have violated the Twitch community guidelines in their last 90 unique broadcast days. This means if their channel receives a suspension, they would need to broadcast on 90 different days without a violation to be eligible again. And what do we take? Steps we're taking to help keep subscriber streams safe. And I'm mostly reading this for people who are listening, like on iTunes or whatever. 1, as mentioned above, to broadcast a subscriber stream, creators must have streamed 90 unique days without a violation. If a qualified streamer does receive a violation, they'll need to meet the requirement all over again to re-earn access to the feature, starting from day 0. Subscriber streams are not private streams. When you arrive at a subscriber stream as a non-subscriber, you will be able to preview the content live, subscribe, and join the community right away if you'd like. Subscriber streams are tagged. 3, subscriber streams are tagged subscriber streams for easy discoverability. Tag cannot be removed and will always appear first when multiple tags are in use. People can view live previews and report content if they believe it violates our term of service or community guidelines. Bing. 4, subscriber streams are launching in beta. If you have any ideas, blah, 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 blah. That's beta shit.
Yeah.
But
So
that's what I'm saying. People can view live previews, report content, all that kind of stuff. So
wait a second. Since there's a 5-minute preview and you don't need to be a sub, does that mean the sub mode in chat is an independent variable from a sub stream?
Yes, you can have open chat during a sub stream, and they can view that chat and participate in that chat even if they can't see the stream.
So wait, and that goes on the whole stream?
Yeah, as far as I know. Yeah,
not just for the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, even if they can't see the stream itself, they can still chat if the chat is not sub only. Like they're independent of each other.
Huh.
I mean, I don't.
You'll get the chat roll, but the screen will say like your preview is run out or whatever the fuck.
Right. I mean, the option. I think most people are probably just going to put it sub only mode because then you're going to have some random drive-by viewer being like, "Fuck this sub only stream. Fuck you, you piece of yeah." So you're going to be sub only, but the option is there, I guess. So if people have questions, they can ask in chat, I guess, and a mod can talk to them.
Yeah, I would think that would be the only way I would leave it open, or not me personally, but like anybody would leave it open, in case someone wanted to ask, like, hey, why can't I see the screen, or like, how do I get to see it, if they don't know about the feature or whatever.
Totally. Yeah.
I mean, because not all of our not everybody's chat is gonna be like our chat. Like,
here's kind of a dumb question.
Chat. Yeah. Be like sarcastic or assholes. And that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Go ahead, Co.
This may actually exist, but is there a follower only stream?
There's follower only chat, obviously. I don't think there's follower only streams. No.
I feel like that would be great for new casters.
But Twitch wouldn't make any money off of it, so why would they do that? Like, that's not a sarcastic comment. Being totally honest, why would Twitch do that? There's not a money making scheme there.
Well, I don't know. I was just thinking about different ways that they could network with that. Like maybe if it automatically followed a stream you watch for 5 minutes or something for new viewers. But never mind. Tangent. It's a complete tangent.
Are you saying this in the sense of to kind of make the onboarding? We're getting real. I just said the word onboarding. To make the onboarding for new streamers easier in the sense that the chat that is actively in their stream is not just fucking vile as shit because it's like 5 people and they can make a bigger impact than they can if they were in a 5,000 person stream?
Well, I was thinking about the idea of having an independent chat from the barrier of whatever you were to put in front of a stream. And had the idea. I was just thinking about like if you had an established community that was like welcoming people and it was like an actual positive experience in the chat, and then like a message popped up, especially for a new streamer, it's like, hey, glad you're enjoying the show. This streamer has it, so if you'd like to keep watching, you could follow him. So if you want to hit this button down here, you'll be notified, blah blah blah. And then it would be like, oh cool, like it'd be educational and the community could help them. And yeah, but again, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
No, I get what you're saying. It's not a bad idea. The other thing that I think is kind of interesting is in order to do a sub only stream, excuse me, you have to start the stream in sub only mode. You can't take a live stream and say, hey guys, we're going to go sub only if you want to continue watching, which I guess is effectively what like the cam girl sites do, right?
Yeah,
like,
that would that's private show shit. Yeah, for sure. That prevents like people paying you to be like, let's go to sub only mode where all the subs.
But
I mean, can, like have a private show.
Couldn't it be argued that like if they're gonna do this most of the time for monetary purposes, why not just go full fucking hog and like make it so like bait people into subbing to the stream to watch the next content that you're going to gate off from this moment in time, right? Like why I don't know why they wouldn't allow that.
Yeah,
it's
probably just the pandering for subs thing. It would just encourage that.
It already does. Hey, Chad, drop your Twitch Prime. That's like the most common thing.
No, I know, but like,
yeah,
I suppose. But I mean, I can see the difference of like going into a stream in the first hour. There's like a countdown, like a 59-minute countdown, right? And it's like going to sub only in 1 minute. If you want to, see the rest of today's broadcast, all you gotta do is sub, buddy.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
it's just that's greasy. That's I mean,
it's greasy, but people do it, man. People do much like I what you just did. I think like subathons are a bigger issue than what you just did. Full on, like, yeah. I don't think it's that greasy.
I mean, the answer why I'm using that sultry voice is just because that's exactly like how I've heard brothels work. It's like they show you the product, but if you want to, the good part of the show, you got to pay the money.
Yeah. Yeah. My only concern is that
he puts like one of those black bars in the bottom half of his beard, and he's like, "Do you want to see the full beard?" That's for the last hour of the show.
That's true. That's where we go sub only. If you want to check that out in about hour and 11 minutes.
Man, you know what? I hate the ammunition. She's calling me out. Calling me out in chat. She's just saying like, why are you using that sultry voice when you're talking about it? It's like, oh, you've heard how brothels work. Like, man, I feel personally attacked, and I don't appreciate it.
I think that brings up a good point, though. Is like, I think it's interesting that the first thing that people go to when like something like this is brought in, or really honestly anything where there is money involved on this platform, the first mental leap that a lot of people do is like, oh, it's becoming a chatterbait now. It's like, no, it's a fucking video service. Why wouldn't they charge money for this stuff? It's a video service, just like YouTube, just like any other fucking Netflix. Just like it, like everyone immediately jumps to like, oh, those cam girls, woo. Why don't they just rename the site to camgirl.tv? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Is that just because that's what people know? Is it the most relatable thing? Like what?
Well, here's the thing.
Twitcher bait? Yeah, I like that one. That one's a good one. We should do that one.
The people who use it on a regular basis will have a certain type of audience that will watch their stuff. Just like the people who do certain things with Patreon stuff. Like you'll see those kind of people and you go, oh, I know what kind of streamer this is. I'm not saying good, bad, or the other. I'm just saying like,
right.
This is among the ways they choose to make money. So you kind of get an idea of, oh, what kind of person this person is. Now, I have absolutely no problem with any, like how anybody makes money. If you're not hurting anybody, I don't give a fuck what you do. But like, I mean, that's what this is going to do. It's going to separate like certain people, like I do lots of sub-only or subscriber-only streams, and that makes me look like this kind of a broadcaster, this kind of a content creator, which is fine because I'll be over here in this, camp or
in
whatever.
the other camp,
yeah. Which is, I mean, whatever. That's cool. I mean, I won't hold it against anybody. I don't think anybody on this show will.
Right. Yeah.
But the other thing I wanted to bring up, and I think this honestly. Twitch, this section should be at least 3 times as long.
Which one?
Because that's what people like me want to know is what kind of stuff can creators do with subscriber streams, like ideas, like so it doesn't sound. People don't confuse it with like cam girls style stuff. They said streamers on Twitch have a way of surprising us all by using our new features in unexpected ways. We're looking at you, squad streamers. But we could definitely see competitive streamers taking requests on heroes or champions play, tabletop streamers running a weekly campaign for subs, music streamers making all request set lists, and a whole lot more. A whole lot more is what I want. Like I want like you to tell us like what do you have in mind for this?
Well, but that's sure, but I think that it just like IRL streaming is not something that Twitch invented. Streamers invented IRL streaming, right? Like they created that. So if Twitch they've said this a billion times on like a TwitchCon stage. I think we said this exact phrase is like, we have no idea what you're going to make next and create next. So could they outline that stuff? Sure. But I don't know if they necessarily know. Otherwise, like that'd be the next big thing, right? Like that's going to be the thing that people flock to for views and whatnot.
I was going to say like, do you think that's like the main money motivation, alliteration, behind this is like esports stuff?
I don't necessarily think it's esports. I think you got to think bigger than that. I think it's like MMA events. I think it's any pay-per-view type event when it comes to sports. Like, why not? I'm sure Amazon is sitting there like, guys, have you seen what UFC does when they have a big fucking event every weekend? We want a piece of that pie. Like, build something to where we can get involved in that. You've already got chat, which is unique to any other streaming service out there. Make it so we can watch UFC and fucking see X person beat up X person and make people be able to subscribe to watch it.
And also, the more I think about it, it's definitely just a resource in, resource out situation. And Zeke, I think a lot of that, a whole lot more stuff will revolve around that too, to where it's the kind of thing where there's a chance that streamers will put on sub-only streams for streams that maybe they have invested in more than others. Like maybe they got specialty pieces of equipment, or maybe it's a JP situation where he rented thousands of dollars for an amazing set. And it's like, we need to get some value out of that because you just dropped 15K on a bunch of stuff. Not that you would do that, but maybe somebody, rents out a big event or a location for an IRL stream. And it's like that costs them a huge amount of money. So they want to try to get as much out of the stream as they can. So I think the more that I'm thinking about the sub-only thing, the more I'm seeing streams kind of try to do huge, big events. And the sub-only portion becomes like a door cost to get into it.
Yeah. I mean,
but it's going to be interesting to see what type of events those are, because I'm with Zeke. I can't think of many good ones on my own.
Right.
So yeah,
If
I don't know.
I think where Twitch might have messed up in this announcement is they're not like leading people that read this or see the tweet, the drive-by people, to see why they would do this. So if they announced this and then they were like, tune in on Saturday to watch NFL, NHL, UFC, some big event, and be like, this is what this is could be used for. I think that the messaging would be going a lot better right now, because people wouldn't be immediately thinking like, those fucking cam girls are gonna get away with it. God damn it! Like that's the general consensus around this whole thing is like, the fucking boobs are ruining Twitch. Blah blah blah. Like that's the most general statement I've seen about all of this. Whereas if they were like, oh, let's watch UFC. I love watching hot, sweaty dudes rub on each other. Give it to me all day long. That's what I want to see.
If they just businessed up the language of saying, we want to make money and we're trying to discover new ways that we can bring like pay-per-view shit to Twitch.
Right.
And they just like business, they like told us exactly why. Like, this is why we're introducing it, because this is going to has the potential to make us tons of money if we have sponsors or like partnerships with like NBA, NFL, MMA, like UFC, whatever the fuck.
Yeah. And
then they told us that they're like, this is how we're going to make a whole shitload of money, and you can choose to pay to watch it if you like. Right. They said that, and they said also it's going to be like you'll have access to it as a partner
if you want to do whatever you want to do with it. Yeah.
Now, because I'm sure that's what it is, right? It's just that, like, that's what they want to do.
It's probably the case of like, if you build it, they will come. That it's not. We don't have people here yet, but we built it, so maybe the UFC's of the world, whatever, will show up. Go ahead.
I was gonna say somebody, Aviscat actually brought up the interesting idea in chat, like movie nights where sub pays the licensing fee for whatever movie. The only issue there is, I think that's a cool idea, but that would probably require a different system, because I hate to say it, but in a situation like that, probably even a sub would have to get a ticket. So that would have to be like a ticketing system of some kind. And also you'd have to basically just remove the 5-minute thing.
Yeah.
Like, because if you're giving any of that out for free, then at that point that would be a licensing issue. So
and we talked about that last time when this kind of leaked out months ago. Like, that would be a fucking sell movie tickets on Twitch. I mean,
what would be really cool is if a caster could do something like buy slots for something like that. So if I could register 10,000 slots, and then it would just be like the first people that would come in would just get it for free, and I would pay for them, kind of thing.
Yep.
And then we could watch like new movies like as they came out and stuff. Oh man, that'd be fun.
Yeah. There's a ton of different. Someone in chat brought up a fact like, imagine if each NFL team had their own Twitch stream that was sub only, and you could subscribe to it and get like the New England Patriots stream where you get behind the scenes content from the New England Patriots. Fucking people would go crazy for that, and you get so many people outside of Twitch, because none of these fucking nerds in chat watch football. Let's be real. And you get so many new people over to the stream. And then if in the sidebar it's like, Ezekiel 3 streaming whatever. What is Ezekiel? What is that? Oh shit, this guy's like, he's eating hot sauce right now, and now he's gonna eat some cat's asshole or something. What is going on this stream? Like, what's happening?
One time you eat one cat asshole, and you're the cat asshole guy forever. What the fuck?
So that's the type of stuff where I look at them like, yeah, if they go this route, then fuck yeah. It means only good things for Twitch, in my opinion. It's more money into the platform, and it's more people that would never have visited in the first place that might splinter out and go to other channels, for sure.
I'm saying, I love that idea.
Yeah.
I think that's great. I think that's the rising tide, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, like, let me ask this, though. Let me ask, like, this of the chat. What do you foresee being the worst problem to arise from this? Like, because I can only see, like, I'm all for new features that are optional. This is an optional feature. You don't have to do it. That kind of shit. Let's keep that in mind at all times. What do you think is the worst thing that can happen?
We'll let Chad answer, and he can kind of filter through that. But
yeah,
I think it's just moderation. It's the continuing
the worst
problem.
thing that can happen is you don't get to watch a stream that you wanted to watch.
Well,
in that case, there's tons of other people to go watch. I mean, I think the worst thing that's going to happen is going to be a case-by-case basis to the people that choose to exploit the system.
Right.
So if people use it, like, maybe, you know what? maybe there's going to be people that just turn it on like they do sub mode. Maybe like they just become a sub only streamer. You want to watch my content? You know what? I'm worth $5. End of story. That's how it works. And I think that those people may get backlashes potentially. Maybe it's going to work for some people. Like, I have to admit, it's an interesting idea to think about what would happen if somebody like Shroud turned on sub-only mode permanently for his bots, because he's arguably a really good player that people really want to see play.
Sure.
So it's like maybe there's tens and tens of thousands of people that would just be like, oh, $5 to watch Shroud when I want to? Yeah, sure. No brainer, right? Cool. But maybe there's going to be a huge backlash, and then, you know, people like swear him off or stop watching him. So it's the kind of thing where it's I don't know, man. It depends on how mainstream it gets.
Yeah,
and
like
This is actually. Sorry. I'm sorry, Go. I didn't mean.
Go ahead. No, please.
Okay. This is actually a really good point that A Money TV brought up. You're going to see a lot of scroll past. Fuck.
you gotta
you're gonna
pause
a lot
the
of
chat.
people, oh, that's where
There's
it
a
was.
button to pause the
I
chat.
did. No, it went way too fast. It like scrolled all the way out of.
There's like a keystroke where it'll just pause the chat completely.
No,
Now.
I have
You just
like
have FFZ. All you have to
on
do is
mouse
mouse.
over
Zeke,
ass.
there was a blog post about it to where you can pause everything.
Stop it! Shut up. Okay. The post was.
Let me pull up the
people-
blog post. Jesus.
People will be saving their Amazon Prime sub. Instead of using it on streamers, they'll be saving it for special events.
Now
What?
that's a
Instead of using their Amazon Prime free sub on streamers, they'll be like, oh, I'm not going to use it because I know that this event's coming up, or I'm going to wait for a special event so I can use it on that.
yeah. That's a good point. Or yeah.
Oh, now,
Huh.
and actually, you just brought up a really interesting idea, because if somebody watches a group of streamers regularly and they rotate their Prime sub around, and one of those streamers that they really like ends up going sub only, then at that point that parks their Prime sub. Like at that point, those other people they'd be rotating would then like lose out of that. And I wonder how much of an effect that's going to be on a grand scale.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I do know that when you squad stream with someone and someone is in subscriber only view mode or whatever the fuck their branding is calling it, that just shows up as like, it gives you the timer and then it goes away in the squad stream. In the sense of it, the content is like glossed over. It says you must subscribe to watch this. So I do know that that's there. But in terms of like the Twitch Prime stuff, yeah, I feel like so much will have to happen until people start saving their Twitch Prime subs, in terms of like the culture of Twitch is going to have to change. And this is going to have to be something that exists for a long time till people start thinking like, well, there's a UFC event next month. If I save my Twitch Prime, I could watch that for free. And who's to say that, you know, that's going to be a $5 sub, or even if you can use Twitch Prime subs to begin with, who knows? It might change. But yeah, like that'll have to be somewhat of a culture shift, I think, before people start saving Twitch Prime subs to like watch a sub-only stream.
Well, I gotta
And,
tell
and
you,
again,
man,
it's going to completely be dependent on the prevalence of casters that use them.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, man. This is
Yeah.
this is going to be wild. This could
Yeah, it'll
potentially.
It'll make
A
a
lot
lot
of things.
impact. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the first like things that came to my mind was because I am who I am, just being like, big sub only stream happening this Friday. And I'll just get like a fucking peel and stick wall thing of Jebaited and just stick it on my wall.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's all it's gonna be for like 3 hours.
You're going to see a bunch of people meme it at the start. And I think even like, you know, to use an example that Cody used earlier, I think people like Shroud, streamers of that size, will probably do like a debate stream. And I bet you their audience will embrace it and it'll be wildly fucking successful for that person.
And they'll probably make it
No one
huge
else
around
better
it.
do it. I thought of it first.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Zeke will get his 10%.
Yeah. And so I it's probably going to happen, and hopefully that'll change kind of the culture of Twitch in the sense that people don't view it as like someone just called their mother a whore when they put their channel into sub only. So I don't know.
Gotta
We'll see.
say, just real quick, Dane Almighty just brought up the good point. Can you do tier 2 and 3 sub only streams?
I don't think so.
Can you imagine a T3 only sub stream? Like where a message came up and it's like, yeah, you're paying this guy money, but not enough for this stream. Click here. Watch it.
I could totally see like a new tier being introduced for like a pay-per-view subscribe stream for like UFC. So because those things are like $80 to watch a UFC event, and so they could start to make like a special event tier or something like that.
I will say, if Twitch isn't already making a ticketing style system, they should be working on it. If nothing else, just to have it, like make it so you I mean, that would attract, like you're saying, that would attract huge names to the platform if they knew where it's like, hey, you can just pay-per-view your audience and they can just pay to watch your stuff. Like you could actually be talking about major releases happening here just on Twitch.
Yeah, totally.
Kind of surprised it's not already a thing, because that could make them a ton of money. Like a ton of money.
I think it's going to. Yeah, I think it 100% will. I see so many like.
Oh, that's right, BlizzCon, and those they already have it, kind of, right?
Yeah,
Don't you like buy BlizzCon tickets and stuff?
BlizzCon is done through the Direct TV app, and that's done through Blizzard. But I could totally see Twitch going to them and say like, hey, you know that thing you have? We have that already on Twitch. So if you don't want to pay for, a satellite fucking truck going out to your event, you could just. I mean, they'll still pay for the satellite truck to stream to Twitch, but I'm sorry, the hosting of the video player and whatnot, just stream it on Twitch, and we'll put up a sub wall, and then we all win, right? Like that. The Blizzard Twitch relationship is close, so I could totally see that happening this year.
Oh, some other good questions in chat. I doubt you can host a sub only stream. That would be weird.
Well, they would get a 5-minute preview, and then, I mean, it's not any different really. They'd still get a 5-minute preview.
I guess.
I think that, again, the culture is going to have to
How
change.
would the numbers work? Like, would the numbers then drop off after 5 minutes? Would the host then end, I guess, for the person individually?
Yeah, I don't know how the numbers are actually. I'm curious. Does it say in? Oh yeah, so it does show the number here in this screenshot of people watching for this sub-only stream.
So is that only people who are subbed, or does it take into account the people in their 5-minute grace period? And does the number reduce when the grace period is done? Because that would be strange, because then you could have people actively chatting in the chat room, but not be counting as a viewer towards the stream.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what is representative of that view number. I wonder if that's in this FAQ somewhere, if there's a Twitch person watching that could say. Because that's a good point. I mean, ultimately, it doesn't matter. It only matters if people want to be like, well, that person has 200 viewers, so that means that he's got 200 subs that are paying $5. And
say affiliates can do it, and hosting is a huge deal these days to getting from affiliate to partner. So although it seems like a small deal, it could be a very big deal to the people who are like really trying to get that partnership number for times per week and hitting goals. But then again, it did say affiliates could do sub only streams, right?
Yes.
I'm thinking about it. The more I'm wondering why an affiliate would ever want to do a sub only stream. Because I mean,
it's going to stunt growth. Like, there's no question about it. Yeah.
That would be a real hit to getting yourself out there.
It says subscriber streams are now available to partners and affiliates who meet the requirements above. Check your dashboard or visit the help page for more information. So, yeah. I think we can all agree that we do not advise affiliates to go as a sub-only stream.
Honestly, I would say don't do a sub-only stream unless you know exactly what you're doing. Like right. This is the kind of thing where, when done improperly, you could potentially cause some damage to your community. Yep. If you were to screw it up enough. Yep. So yeah, I would say it's like a scalpel. Don't use a sub-only stream like a hatchet. Like, have a really good plan with what you're doing, and yeah. We did. I don't know if we mentioned this at all, but it's not just subscribers. Even though it's called subscriber streams, VIPs. So if you /VIP anyone and they're not a sub, they can still view that stream, and also mods will be able to view it as well. So if a mod's not a sub to your stream, they can still moderate and watch it because of the fact that they have the mod tag. So it's kind of cool, I guess.
Mods, VIPs, obviously employees, or are all safe.
What's the limit on VIPs? Is it 50 at the max?
I think it's 50.
Okay. Yeah. So
does mods have a limit?
I don't know if mods have a limit.
I remember that one guy when I was second or third year streaming. I remember hearing about one guy that went on like a mod frenzy and modded every single person in his multi-100 channel.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there was a limit.
Huh. That could definitely be a way. I mean, I could definitely see some.
Test and mod everyone watching right now.
All right, here we go. Let me crack the finger. Okay, let's go. Here we go. No, I'm not going to. My mods just all typed in chat. Please don't do that. You don't know what you're doing. I am curious though to see if people could like successfully,
Oh God.
if they could successfully like VIP and mod viewbot their subscriber only stream by just modding, everyone that comes in there to watch the subscriber only stream, and people will see like, well, this person's got 150 people watching and it's sub only. Clearly there must be a reason for this, and then drop a sub. And then it's just like Bob playing World of Warcraft back hunched in his seat, not talking. Right?
Yeah, but that's like having a clickbait title. I mean, it's just like
yeah.
You just brought up a really good point, though. Sub-only streams will show up in global game rankings, right? If I click on a Final Fantasy 14 and the top person's running a sub-only stream, he'll be there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a little icon that denotes that he is a sub-only stream, I think.
I wonder how many people are going to go to a sub-only stream by accident for their first Twitch stream ever.
Yeah.
And just be really confused.
I mean,
like, is this how everyone is? What is this bullshit? Like, just... I can only imagine.
Because this is what they'll see. It'll say here at the top, there'll be a banner that says your free preview ends in X amount of time when they first go to it. And I think, do they have a picture of the directory and what it looks like? Let's see. They don't. I think that in the directory they have like a special little notation.
Yeah, that little
for it.
star.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, it'd be cool. Now, this is both cool and would also be very overreaching, but it would be kind of fun where it's like, you are getting to the end of your free period and you'll need to sub to watch this. Or we can suggest some channels for you. Boom, 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 boom. Like right under where it like shows you other people playing in the directory that aren't in sub-only VOD. Now, of course, that would probably infuriate the caster who is trying to make money off.
I think that I think in all the places where people are mad at Twitch, that might be justified for people to be mad at Twitch.
That could be a bit much.
Yeah.
But I will say that I really don't like the idea. I mean, one person can be such a huge deal on Twitch. Like a single individual can make or break a caster for bills if they're a big donator or bringing new people in or becoming a mod on a channel. So the idea that there could be like hundreds to like for instance, if the day that Ninja decides to play with this and for 8 hours the top Fortnite stream is a paid subscriber stream, that could potentially negatively influence like thousands and thousands and thousands of people off the platform. It makes me wonder if like new people or non-accounts like, well, no, because you'd want
here.
I don't know.
Just from the
that encourage pirating. I think that would encourage pirating.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen no matter what, though, Zeke.
Who have subscriber privileges in a chat or in a channel,
right? Just to copy it and restream it.
And then people will go out like it's just like if you have all the cable channels but you don't have HBO.
Yeah, I think that pirating is just something that's going to happen. There's really no way to get around it.
Or restreaming, whatever you want to call it.
I am curious.
Well, keep in mind though, these are still public streams. Like even if it's a sub-only stream, it's the 5-minute thing means anyone can essentially watch it for free if they want.
Right.
Completely publicly, just by making new accounts. So yeah, they're nothing is private about this.
I'm very curious to know what I know a lot of people that watch Twitch through VLC in the sense that they find the stream link and will watch it through VLC, bypassing the entire Twitch.tv like platform. I wonder how that will work with sub-only streams. If it bypasses that, or if there's still a check for that stream link so that people can't watch it through like a VLC protocol. Obviously that's not something that
be turned off for those.
Maybe, yeah. Obviously that's not going to work obviously that's not going to be promoted in the Twitch blog of like VLC viewers, right? Like,
what a quick workaround.
Yeah. And I guess
well, damn, Twitch, okay.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it. I don't know if you can log in through VLC viewing. So
people who do that already are like, shut the fuck up. Shut the
Oh, I know.
fuck
Yeah,
up,
I'm about to get some tweets.
You're ruining for us.
I'm about to get some tweets about ruining this workaround here.
Some PMs.
Yeah, from both Twitch staff and those people. They're both going to be angry at me for for promoting it in both cases. Yeah, but I'm curious like what that's going to do. There was another point you were talking about, like Ninja or a big streamer. I don't want to single Ninja and shout out a bigger streamer being the first people see with or on the platform and being like, is everything like sub only? I kind of feel like just from the way that people are responding to this to begin with, that people understand that some streaming platforms just are sub only, like that's a general option. So I mean, I guess maybe people will be like, well, is this entire platform sub only? But then they'll just click on another stream and see that it's not. But I do wonder if there's going to be some sort of messaging to say that this stream is not sub only, right? Like it's jarring if your first stream is sub only and then you go to a non sub only stream and there's nothing saying like, this is the normal viewing experience of Twitch.
That's
right?
exactly the thing that I was thinking of. Like, there's nothing there, like for somebody new, they may not understand that this isn't the whole platform, that this is a special thing that just this caster is deciding to do. Like you kind of nailed it with the last part.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if that's messaging that like Twitch needs to handle or what, but with Twitch's history, they leave the messaging up to streamers. So,
well, I was thinking about it from the other end, and there's not like at the same time, it wouldn't be fair to remove them from public rankings. Like they still need to get new eyes on their stream too, especially if they're doing something that restricts content like a sub only stream. So it wouldn't be in anyone's interest to like not have new eyes to see them. Yeah. Yeah, I think just being as clear as possible, like maybe a purple button on that same screen that says, what is a subscriber only stream? And they click on that and it would go to like the help thing about like, this is a sub only stream. Most streams aren't, blah, 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 that kind of thing. But I don't know. I'm sure they're thinking about this. I hope.
Man, you're smart. You're so smart. I did just a random like non-scientific poll. I just put in the chat. A straw poll said, picture your favorite event to watch, Evo, GDQ, E3, etc. Now answer this question. Would you save your Amazon/Twitch Prime free sub to watch it?
Mm-hmm.
And with 750 people who answered, 58% said no and 42% said yes. So it's a substantial amount.
I think people do that already, though, somewhat with like GDQ and Evo just to like support or get the Evo emotes or something like that during the event. So I think that's something that already happens on the platform. And those events are so spread out across the year that it's not necessarily the biggest impact. It could grow for sure if this is something that, is adopted across the platform and people see to embrace it. But I think for the next like several months, if you're a sub only stream, people are going to find that stream and make sure that they know, or they can tell you that you're fucking up, right? Like it's going to be real rough in anyone that decides to go to sub only. Especially if the chat's open. If it's not, then they're not going to see that. But those people will be there's ways to get to a streamer, tweet at them, whisper them. There's a ton of ways. It's going to be a giant hurdle to get through for sure.
Well, I think it's going to be like this. The streamers that you think will use it are going to, and it's not going to change your opinion of them. And the streamers that aren't going to use it won't, and it won't change your opinion of them either. I don't think there's going to be any big shifts except for it's going to be more corporate stuff, like deals with other outside of maybe not necessarily outside of gaming, but possibly that just like stuff that is not our thing will be introduced to our thing, maybe through the sub only stream.
Yeah, I would say. I'm curious. I can't think of a good reason for it, but maybe you guys can. If a company X wants to do a sponsored stream and they want that stream to be sub only, is that something that makes sense?
Yes. I just realized I would sub to a channel in a heartbeat if they were showing new gameplay or new stuff from a title that I was interested in.
But that would go against just the general ethos behind the word marketing, would it not? You want to get that out to as many people as possible. So
yes, but then you'd get cool emotes.
Okay. You're selling me on this now. I can see what you're doing. Yeah.
Yes.
In terms of like a streamer, or in terms of like a company Twitch stream, or a company's.
No,
Twitch
well,
stream?
I was just thinking like it'd be cool. Like for instance, just to use a hypothetical here, it'd be kind of fun. And again, I wish you could do this around follower. That'd be a lot more intuitive. But like Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, like they could just put everything behind a sub wall, and they could. I see everyone's gonna hate me talking about this because it's just like ideas for ways to squeeze money out of them.
No, it's
Maybe
fine.
maybe we should just. No, okay,
It's fine.
So anyway,
these ideas have already been thought about much before we ever introduced them to the world, so it's fine.
But no, anyway, like let's say there was a follower only mode. That'd be a lot better.
Okay.
But if you could put it behind it where it was a kind of thing where you could put like new gameplay reveals, show off new things, have dev Q&As, things that would be like actually of value for people to watch that are fully invested in IP or a game. And then you could have all sorts of fun emotes with it, really grow out the program, do all sorts of things. Again, you're talking about pennies though, compared to what these titles actually spend in most cases. So I don't really know how lucrative it would be around a monetary system. I think it'd be a lot more interesting if they could do it around like a follow system where it's like join our community by clicking follow and get access to all this cool stuff. So I don't know, but yeah.
I mean, what's a company out there like a gaming, company that has like a name for their fan base? I'm trying to think of one just off the top of my head, but like, doesn't Doom have some sort of like group that you can join up for like a mailing list or something like that? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like in that situation, let's just use that as an example. Company decides to like name whatever their fan base is that plays their game and offer like the mailing list and say like, hey, if you go over to twitch.tv/Doom and join this sub only stream, you can get like whatever exclusive demos, exclusive emotes on the platform, like that type of stuff. But they could already do
Warframe has
that.
the Tenno, Path of Exile has the Exiles, things like that. I think there's certainly communities that can form that become very tight knit, strong, and prominent.
Yeah,
kind of self-identify as such.
Yeah, probably. It's going to be tough for people, both companies and streamers, to actually find content that people will view worthwhile for subscribing to. And I run into that on my own just with roleplay. Like, people, why the fuck is this behind VODs? And it's definitely difficult for sure. Granted, it comes out for free, 2 or 3 days after the fact, so that's satiates those people that are upset about that. But if it's not, then I don't know what that content is that will make people happy to be like, okay, I'm glad I paid $5 to watch this.
It's all about the value, right? And I'm with you, because it's hard to establish a value to something that you could go basically just see for free in thousands of other locations.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of the reasons I love the subsystem how it currently is, because it assigns individual value. It's not establishing this global, I think it's worth this much, and I'm going to force you to agree with me. It's like, I think it's worth this much, and if you do too, then you can sub to the channel and it's cool. But if you don't, that's cool. You can still watch.
Yeah.
I like that so much better.
Yeah.
So, but it's like a reverse system with the sub only stream. You're telling everyone else, I am worth at least this much. And it's hard to do that when you're in a literal sea of other people doing the exact same thing that you are.
Yeah. It'll be tough for sure for anyone that wants to try to. The smaller you are as a streamer, the more difficult it will be to utilize this, I think, on your stream, without a doubt.
Sure.
And just by turning it on as a larger streamer, larger in the sense of 10,000 plus to quantify it, that will immediately dwarf that viewership, I think. Is it worth it in terms of potential subs that you might get? I don't know. That's something we'll have to just see. But
yeah, man, I mean, anytime you turn on a sub only stream, you're going to be taking hits, be it from discoverability or, you're going to be taking negatives.
Yeah.
I really wonder if the positives would ever outweigh that. Like you'd have to have a real zeal for people subbing to watch that channel. Man, it's wild. It all goes back to what Zeke said, man. Like the and more. Like I really wonder what that and more is going to be. Maybe there's things we're not even thinking about that are just going to be huge splashes behind these walls. But I cannot think of any right now.
Of all the streams that I watch and know exist on the platform, I could see only really one community embracing it. It would be Critical Role. I could totally see the critters embracing that on that platform. Sure, people would be upset. People are always going to be upset. I'm not saying they should do it. I don't think they will do it, but I could totally see it working out for them in a positive way.
I think it would work for them, but I don't think they're the kind of community to do that.
100%.
They're all about accessibility. Yeah, but I do think that they probably have a passionate engaged enough community to actually make it successful.
Right.
But again,
And-
I don't think.
And, you know, to be honest, the reason that those people are probably passionate and super in love with Critical Role is because of all the things we just stated. So the second they do this,
Yeah.
it might just
It's the fact that they wouldn't do something like
Yeah,
that, which is why they're to that point where
Sure.
they could do it.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think for it to work, and not like piss people off, it would have to be for stuff that people don't have loyalty to, like Critical Role. Like it would have to be like a big like esoteric entity, like the New England Patriots. Like sure, you might be a big fan of the New England Patriots, but you don't feel like you know them like you do the people on Critical Role. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I see so many dumb fucking takes in chat, by the way. It's just to call out the general.
Yeah, man.
Like, so many people are just saying this. It's so ridiculous. It's not the end of the world. Like, Twitch is not closing shop. It's got to continue. It's okay.
Also, good time to
Also,
mention
like,
that. Oh, go ahead, please. I talk too much as it is.
No, I just keep seeing people talking about like the cam girl like aspect or fear of this whole thing. It's like, obviously you're not a partner. You haven't gone through the partner like process to become a partner, because it's a process. People like have fucking celebrations to become a partner, and to risk that partnership by doing something stupid like thinking that you're going to get away with showing your titties or your dick or whatever behind a paywall, a subscriber paywall, is just stupid.
Yeah, it's real stupid.
Outrageously dumb to think that's going to happen.
It's really dumb. It's exceptionally dumb, without a doubt. Anything else you guys want to say on this? I'm sure we'll have more thoughts on it next week. I haven't really had a chance to like
what
read.
happens.
Yeah, I want to see what happens. I think that people right now it's hot take central on all of this, and the sky is falling, and Twitch is dead as a platform, and the booby streamers won, and all that nonsense is kind of the general consensus. I want to see what happens a week after the fact.
I don't know how many people in chat member, but I member when they first did. I don't remember what it was, a music concert. And it was an EDM concert. It was like South by Southwest. Ultra, that's what it was.
Oh yeah.
They first broadcast Ultra, and everybody's like, it's fucking going back to just the TV.
Dude,
It's no longer about gaming. Gaming is dead.
Zeke, this happened yesterday when Bernie Sanders announced that he has a Twitch channel. That exact thing is occurring right now. If this shit didn't happen, it would 100% be the biggest story around Twitch today. But thankfully for Bernie, Twitch subscriber only streams out there. So people are kind of just glossing it over. But yeah.
Also,
I feel the burn.
I remember.
You remember?
I mean, this happens with anything Twitch tries to introduce, right?
I remember.
Subscriber
I
chat.
remember.
Subscriber chat was the same thing. We talked about at the very beginning. Like, people fucking lost their mind, and now years after the fact, it doesn't fucking matter.
to be fair though,
it's actually a good thing.
That didn't really take off. Like it was kind of this big thing for like 2 weeks, and then like a month or so later, there was like another concert.
Well,
and then they just kind of.
It didn't take off the way that I think.
A year later, it was on YouTube.
Well, it didn't take off the way that I think Twitch wanted it to. Most streamers use subscriber only as like. Well, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it seemed pretty popular. It was weird.
Yeah, but I think most people had the occurrence of, well, this is not generating subs, so I'm not going to turn this on. I'm just going to use it as like a moderation tool, which is, I think, primarily what people use for subscriber only mode. Is like, oh fuck, chat is real crazy right now. Let's put it into subscriber only mode. Say chat, calm down, take it off immediately. Like, that's usually what most people use it for, I think.
So we might be forgetting, like, or not forgetting, but like overlooking the fact that Amazon owns Twitch. I mean, wouldn't it be like, what if they use that shit to show like the first episode of a new Amazon original series?
They already do that for sponsored streams.
Okay.
So I could totally see it. I mean, when we brought this up when it leaked, like, we talked about that for sure.
Okay.
I think it's definitely going to be a thing. There's no question about it. Like, why would you not debut it? Why would you not put like the Expanse out on a non-sponsored stream and just let people go sub-only mode? Not necessarily pay them to do that, but streamers will make revenue by the fact that they are simply showing that on their channel and people have to subscribe to watch it. Like that's,
Okay.
I think I could see that occurring. I don't know how many streamers would be into that, but if it's their favorite show, they might do it.
Okay. I didn't know Dan did that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Chad.
Well, a bunch of people have done that. Dan's done that. Like,
Yeah, I was going to say that was a
yeah.
big initiative. There
Yeah.
was lots of people.
And like Tim the Tapman, Jericho, and Ninja, I think, did streams with the NFL.
Also, they've done Amazon products. They've done shows. Like they did board game ones at one point. Like that's relatively common. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
If think we get Bernie Sanders on Drop Frames, that's a good idea.
I'll try. I'll reach out to his people. You know, I don't know if I want him on this channel though. Do you know what?
I was going to say, like,
Do you know it would be inviting into chat? I tweeted yesterday and quoted the tweet like, "This chat's gonna be a fucking shit show. This chat would be an absolute minefield."
oh my god.
JP, what are we doing? What are we doing on this channel? I want to know what we're doing on this channel right now. Are we doing stuff? Are we not doing stuff? Are we live? People watching.
That's really
It's a
good.
pretty good Bernie Sanders. I kind of you workshopped that stuff. It's pretty good.
A little more barky, and
Yeah.
I think you'd nail it.
Yeah, we'll get Bernie Sanders and AOC, and then just light ourselves on fire and watch what happens.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did we just pour gas on ourselves at that point?
That's
Yeah.
the
From there.
stream. AOC and Bernie Sanders watch streamers light themselves on fire. It'll be great. It'll be the best stream of all time. And then we'll put in subscriber only mode.
Oh, you know what? I can just sit out. We can just throw Rush Limbaugh in for my spot.
Great. Yeah, let's just really get both sides of the aisle there,
Get
really.
both sides of the issue. I'm sure they have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, they could really. I think we could solve the issue of America really when you get down to it, right?
Yeah.
Drop Frames could be vote for us 2020. We're happy to announce our presidential run. We haven't decided our who's going to be president and vice president, and really the third who's going to even sit out yet. But we're working on it.
I'll be the first lady.
But we could do like Bernie, and we could do AOC, and then we could change the name of the show to Dropped Amendments, and then come for everyone's guns.
There we go. We're doing it. We're doing it.
Done. Sells itself.
You guys know that there's going to be a shit ton of political streams in 2020 on Twitch, right? Like that's just a thing that's going to happen, and it's going to be great. Like it's going to be.
Yay, vote nay, all that. Oh yeah.
Oh man, I can't. That stuff was fun. I still remember watching the 2016 presidential election with Dan restreaming that, and him just like, I wanted him to eventually just pull out like a cigarette, and just like sit back, but he never did. It was really
Dude,
good.
I got fucking hammered watching that shit because I was
Yeah.
playing like the drinking game.
Oh yeah.
Like every time they mentioned this, take a drink, and I was just like tweeting out the entire time, like, "Fuck, I'm so drunk right now."
Yeah.
Their talking points are killing me.
Was it CN? No, it was the Washington Post that was on Twitch then, right? Like what channel was it that was streaming all that stuff on Twitch? It was Washington Post or CNN or something like that. I forget. It's been a while. I don't remember. Is Washington
remember.
Post? Okay.
Yeah, a long time.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter. That's all going to be back in 2020. So prepare your outrage for that, chat. Get ready. It's coming.
Has Twitch announced anything officially from their end? Didn't they do some political stuff in the past, sanctioned by them?
They did. I don't think they've announced anything yet.
Oh, they do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
they do.
it's important. Like I hope they do as well, for sure.
These days, awareness is everything.
Yeah, without a doubt. You guys want to talk about some video games?
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, we got about 30 minutes.
We got
That's
about
good
30
enough, right?
minutes. I heard there's a new Yakuza game out.
Basically.
Have fun. I'll see you later.
Zeke, you got some time in it, right?
Yeah, you
Have you
guys
tried it?
both
Well, I mean, I don't want to bore you guys with talk of Judgment.
did. No, it's only fair. We talked about Final Fantasy 14. You guys talk about Judgment. Here we go. That's the plan.
All right, Judgment by the creators of Yakuza, and it's obvious. We had this debate in the chat during the game. Like, I was of the mind that it was in the same setting, but it was not in the same universe. However, I was corrected. It is in the same universe, according to the devs, but there will be no cameos as far as what they've said. There will be no like Oh, you don't want to. You want to go ahead and fast forward past this dumb bullshit.
Well,
This
here's
is
the thing.
this
Before
is
we even
stupid.
get started, if I show
this
cutscenes,
boring me already.
if I show cutscenes, am I gonna have to deal with chat fucking going insane? Like, you're spoiling the story. Just fucking
No.
freaking out.
Well,
Okay.
not on my stream. You will. On
Okay.
Co's maybe because he's probably already done with the game.
Okay.
No, I'm
I'm
just
not
saying,
even on
like,
like the 3rd chapter of 6 or something.
You're
it
running
took-
in a
it
street.
took-
Oh my god.
It took me 6, or it took me like 10 hours to get to a part that it took go 4 to get to because I just fuck around way too much. I screw around too much. But this game is very much it's definitely the Yakuza. It takes place in the same like fictional place of Kamurocho. It has a Millennium Tower. It has a lot of like it's laid out the exact same. The street names are the same and all that kind of shit. But it does take place like in the same universe as the Yakuza series, but there's no cameos from other games. The fighting is fun. It's these fights, these like random fights in the street seem like either you got to pump up the difficulty because I'm playing on the hardest difficulty or the hard, I guess. There's only like 3 difficulties maybe, but I'm playing the hardest one, which the street fights in the middle of the like when you're just walking around the random encounters are just like ugh. They waste your time. They need to be harder and give you more reward. Would be my like biggest gripe with this. It's like you beat the shit out of these guys so super fast, and it doesn't even build up your meter that much. Which is your meter is for like doing cool like heat moves. They call them X moves in this, but it's the stuff where you like you take the road cone and you like smash like in a little cutscene. You smash their face in and shit, or you take the bike and you like body slam them with it, which is like the moves you want to do. So it doesn't build it up. It doesn't give you that much like experience or money or any of that kind of stuff. So like the street fights in it that you run into are like you're just better off just running away from them, which is what I'm going to start doing. However, the story is laid out very much in the fashion of the Yakuza series. You get little clues, and along the way you do these little side missions that are like kind of sort of mandatory side missions. I would like the option of there's a few side missions in there that I'm like, man, why are you forcing me to do this? Like, I don't understand why you would make the person playing this game do this like investigation about someone who ate the piece of cake in the fridge. I'm just like,
Now, okay. I was gonna ask if that's because you've
Come
played
on.
the games before, like the Yakuza series before, so but no, that just sounds like a dumb side quest.
no, and it does sound like a dumb side quest, but you have to go through like the whole thing. I guess
Sorry.
it's a tutorial for how like the whole evidence and blah 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 things work later in the game or whatever. But it seemed like really inconsequential. However, if you like the Yakuza series, you'll probably like this game. I'm not super far into it. I think I've done like 3 broadcasts. I'm like maybe 20-ish hours into it. I will say big standouts for me that are negatives. The mini games are lacking in fun and variety and shit that they know that has worked in the past that they fucking don't have in this game. Oh, karaoke? Have you found it? I heard there's none. There's none. That's so. I don't understand that.
Hey man, music licensing is
Golfing, they had
expensive.
golfing in
See-
one game. Bring it back. They have no like no. I haven't found a chat like a like virtual chat room or phone phone dating shit like that. Like that shit was fun, and they just don't have it. I went and maybe this is too specific, but I went finally unlocked the casino, and in previous games they had a whole bunch of games you could play. They had Hold'em and Omaha and High Low and blah blah blah. They have one game to play, and they don't even give you the option to do the high limit game until later on, and it's just like, it makes me not want to do anything but the main story, and that's all. Okay, go.
So-
Please.
Have you done drone racing though?
I haven't done any drone racing yet because I'm just like, fuck it.
It's the best mini game of all of the Yakuzas.
Is it really?
It's great. I love
didn't
it.
get
I've
into
been having a
pocket
great
racing.
Let me find some footage here. Let me.
Dude, it's
I
so
didn't
much
get
fun.
into pocket
So-
racing. Oh, I don't know.
Well, no, it's
Oh, I pocket
fully
race all the time.
contained pocket racing. So I take everything from pocket racing with the part deployment that you have your drone with the body, the propellers, the turbo, the onboard computer, and you can kind of mix and match those with the parts you collect around the city. But then it's fully involved. So it is a direct. Your left stick is forward, back, left, and right. Your right stick is up, down, and tilt. And you are like in the courses, doing the races, getting the boosts, and going around corners and going through buildings. Oh, this is actually VR. This is
Oh,
another
I
of
did
the mini
that.
games later.
Oh,
Have you done this one yet?
I've done this one.
You think it's lame?
It's all right. I could see it being fun for a little bit, but honestly, like the rewards are fucking outstanding. At least the one I played. So,
Have you only
they
done
work to
it
you?
Well, what's
Yeah, we
weird
did like
is
the free pass one.
I did one and got amazing rewards,
It's
and then
just
every one that I've done since then has been terrible.
Oh,
Like-
okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if like the first one is just designed to be really good or something, but yeah, mine is all over the place. And also I've had to do like a bunch of side games to get the passes to actually do it. So I've been in the batting cages a ton, trying to learn that just so I can get the passes to do the VR mini game, which has been kind of wild. But yeah, no, overall, I agree with you. There is a less variety of mini games, and I feel like the mini games, most of them aren't quite as developed. I will say drone racing is pretty incredible. I do love drone racing. I've had a great time with it. The music is awesome. It's just fun. It reminds me of pod racing in 3D, like big time, especially at the higher speeds when you get like really fast drones and you're going through buildings and through tight cities and stuff. But yeah, overall, and dude, the lack of karaoke just stings. I do wish there was a little bit more variety, for sure.
Well, and for whoever, I think it was Anna Clara in chat talked about like you have to do more side quests to get more stuff to do. No, no, give me the stuff to do now.
I
Don't
want it
fucking
now.
Make me unlock it. Don't fucking make me unlock it. Give me the fun shit right away. Unlock the story shit as we go. That's fine. But give me the fun shit now so I can take a break from the story. That was the best part about the Yakuza games. When I was like, I don't want to do the main story. I want a little break. I want a little refresh. Like I want a piece of ginger in between my sushi. And that was the karaoke. That was the fucking golf. That was like all these other ones that were super fun. Don't fucking put them behind a goddamn story wall. I hate it. Sorry.
no.
Hey, that's
Passionate.
totally
We like it.
justified, man.
We like it. Yeah. So I'll ask the question that I think most people that haven't played this series would probably ask. Should this be the first one you play, or is it still Yakuza 0?
Oh, well, it's important to mention that this doesn't really compare to the Yakuza storyline. Like the Yakuza
Sure.
storyline is 7 games at this point. It's a deep, involved narrative. It's almost the same character. You get to deal with the same characters over multiple games. Like Zeke, I don't speak for you, but I think in my opinion, it's no question you would start with Yakuza 0.
But
Judgment is kind of like a side project. It's fun. And by the way, just to get to my opinions real quick, I'm loving Judgment. I just got up to a massive part of the story where something huge happened. I can't wait to continue it tomorrow afternoon. I'm playing with the English VAs. The English VAs are actually great. Steve Bloom, Matt Mercer, like the main dude is awesome. Kaido is Crispin. Like it's there's a lot of great talent in this game in terms of voice actors, and it's been great. Like I've loved the twists and turns in the main story. The combat I find a lot more engaging. Kamurocho is beautiful.
it does look really good. I
Yeah,
have to say.
it's a really, really fun side project. It's kind of like Yakuza is the main dish, and this is a really good side dish you're having with it. I will say that I was a little bit disappointed. I thought this game was going to be a little bit more, and even though I've never played the games, from everything I understand about them, I thought this game was going to be a little bit more Ace Attorney, where it's like you're presented with a bunch of things, and then you have to, from what I understand, kind of reason through them, kind of like you had to do in Danganronpa that I just played. But the investigation parts in this game are much more on rails. So instead of it being like, here's a bunch of things, deduce and work out what you need to do, it's more like, there's 5 things on the screen you have to do, make sure you do them. Okay, investigation complete. And there's like a few points where you get a few pieces of evidence you have to choose between them, but it's much more gamified than I was hoping for. I was hoping that we would have to put a little bit more mental thought into it instead of it just being like checks on a checklist.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
it has been great though. It's been really, really good. I've been enjoying it.
Yeah. To be completely honest, I'm not going to, but of all the games that I've seen, both of you play in this kind of, I guess you could house them under one franchise in this engine maybe, but they're different engines. Whatever this is.
Studio.
Studio. Yes. From the studio. This is the one where I was kind of like, that looks kind of fun. Like the fighting. There was a scene where I watched you, and this is spoilers because I watched it. You fought a very large man in a family of men in an alleyway who almost killed you. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's okay. That's pretty fucking cool. Like, it's pretty interesting.
There's some parts of this game that are just badass. Like
Yeah.
I definitely have had like, you know, when you're watching a really good movie and something cool happens, you get that kind of like tingly, like, oh, that was awesome. Like that has happened multiple times for me throughout the main story of this game. One thing this studio always does well is tell a story, especially if the story has a lot of meat to it. And their talent for storytelling, that part of this game, you can tell it's their latest edition. Like the way that the characters interact with each other, the way that the story is paced, everything so far has been completely top notch. It's like watching a movie. And the music, this game has this noir vibe to it, this atmosphere of like smooth jazz in the background, and some very cowboy bebop intro-ish like interludes, and it is really, really cool to see this side of the studio in their development process. It's been great. And I got to say, like I said, I just ended the stream at a huge point in the story, and I definitely feel like I just ended like a Game of Thrones episode, and the next one I'm actually really looking forward to. So in other words, not season 7 or 8, but it's, you know, it's good. Really good. It's really good. Also, as a quick selling point, anytime you do one of these events where you are focusing and looking for things, there is a cat to find.
Oh,
every single time. There's a hidden cat.
There was one that I didn't find a cat.
There's one scene inside a building.
Thank God. Thank fucking Christ.
Like
I was like, I looked and looked and looked and looked and looked, and I was like, there can't be one here.
It's also the only scene that you don't hear a meow. There's no like constant meow. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure.
Okay, good.
We're good. We're good, dude.
nice.
All right. That bothered me a little bit, but to hear, like, I heard someone else that when I was doing it said, oh, they didn't find a cat either, and you didn't. So I'm okay. I'm okay. I found a cat in everyone except that one. Okay, cool. I will say, because you're doing the English voiceovers, aren't you, Ko?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm doing the Japanese voiceovers, and I'm not starting subs dubs fucking fight or whatever like that. But I will say with the Japanese voiceovers, I love how the main character is not Kiryu. I love Kiryu, don't get me wrong, but he's more of a caricature of a Yakuza person. This guy, the voice actor, I can't remember. I don't know his name. Can't think of it off the top of my head. But he's a famous Japanese actor, apparently, like film actor, like on-screen actor, I should say. Not just a voice actor. Excuse me, not only a voice actor. Pardon me. But his subtlety and the way he delivers his lines it makes him so much more real, so much more believable than like a Kiryu. Because Kiryu a lot of times is angry or stoic. Like that's like it. Like it's angry or stoic for the most part with Kiryu. This guy has like levels and complexity in the way he delivers lines, the jokes, like he kind of like slides under the radar. You're like, oh fuck, he was making fun of it. Stuff like that. I would say it's better acted, at least from the main character and for a lot of the other characters. They're not so much like chewing the scenery as they are actually like, telling a story.
Was the main voice actor for the Japanese voice acting the guy that got caught doing cocaine and they had to redo everything, or that was someone else?
I heard about that.
He was the big bad guy.
Oh,
they had to recast. The main character has always been cool, but the big antagonist, I think, was the dude that got busted.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, okay.
Gotcha.
Hamura, yeah.
I will say, just to kind of go into what Zeke was saying. In 99% of these cases, the original Japanese voice acting is the go-to, the best, the most well acted, and then the English voice acting is kind of like what you do if you need to. And I agree that in most cases that's how it is. From this side, though, I will say the voice acting on the English side is one of the best I've seen in a game that is natively to Japanese. Like it is. This is going to sound really weird. I watch streams with the Japanese voice actor for the main character, and I don't know, maybe if it's just because I was used to it, but I like the English better.
Huh.
And this is so weird because it's actually the guy it's mocapped after. I feel like the voice fits it better in English. Probably because I'm used to it because I played like 4 hours in English, but still, like it's really top notch. Kaido is on point the whole time. In fact, I just heard in my chat, apparently Bikeman started with Japanese. Bikeman's a friend of the show, another caster. And he apparently started in Japanese and then switched over to English, and he just wrote out the rest in English because he said it was, pretty good. Which again is rare for these types of games.
Yeah,
I've done this a lot.
I've said some controversial stuff on this show. I mean, I've talked shit about Witcher, and you really just take the cake in saying that the English is better than the Japanese here. So I don't associate with this man on a day. It's his birthday. I'm just being nice to him. So.
Well, yesterday, but close enough.
Yeah, yes,
but yeah,
it's.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not his friend.
I mean, some people would rather eat a donut, and some people would rather eat a pile of shit. There's not many of them, but I bet there's some.
Anyway, I'm just saying, give it a try. They're both great. I've heard nothing but amazing things about the Japanese, and I will say the English, in my opinion, was definitely better than expected. A lot of great voices you'll recognize from anime. Which is really cool too. So they definitely put in the extra effort for this one.
I actually took a break and watched it in English. Like I watched the English dub, and I wasn't like, it wasn't laughable. It was pretty goddamn good. They actually made it seemed like they made the lips like to match the English words that they were speaking.
That is huge as
when
well.
You switch back and forth.
All the characters
you
are
can
dubbed
see them mouthing Japanese words or mouthing English words.
Yep. I wonder if they did extra motion cap or like lip.
Well, I think what they did was come up with a really good technology for the mouth automatically doing the words, and then that's just implemented.
Cool.
Like you can tell it's not custom molded, but it's still really well done.
Cool.
So of course the side effect is that you don't get a huge amount of emotion in their face, particularly if they're like saying very emotive
they've done
things.
Botox. It's fine.
Exactly. They've all done Botox. It's a good way to say it, but it's still really good. And it's all opening like syllable for syllable, which is again great for in terms of kind of increasing how good it is overall.
It's not like Senua's Sacrifice good as far as like they got every little like twitch of a muscle of a lip, of like that kind of stuff. But you can see them going like, I'm opening my mouth, or the English, and then for the Japanese it would be like, and you can see like it doing the mouthing, not specifically like 100% awesome accurate, but you can tell they will work it.
Random tangent, but I think I just figured out how I'll get myself to really enjoy even more so Cyberpunk. I'm going to play with Japanese dubs on so I can hear a Japanese Keanu just to see what that's like. Like they just need the Japanese Keanu voice pack so we could just turn that on and everyone else speaks English. It'd be great. I'd be there. I'd pay money for that.
That would be sacrilegious. Did you forget, JP, that I know where you live?
Uh-oh. Jesus. We didn't.
It's like watching The Simpsons in Spanish. It's just fun to hear like people you know their voices, but it's like you hear them go like pretty
much
like that. It's great. It's fucking fantastic.
It'd be great. Well, cool. You guys are both still not done with it, so I'm sure we'll talk about it next week or whenever you guys. It seems like a pretty long game, right? Like any estimates, or do you guys actually know how long it is?
45.
Jeez, for just main story, or for
main story? I've heard 45.
Wow,
that's longer than the Yakuza games. Most of them are like 25 to 35.
There's a few points in the main story, from what I understand, that really kind of branch out into like do some mini games and do other things, but. Yeah, okay. I don't know if that's accounted for, but it's gonna be a ride. See how long it actually takes.
No, Kirito, I will not talk about learning mahjong because I don't want to fucking bore the entire
Well,
audience.
they've got
I enjoyed
mahjong,
it,
and
but
can you?
man,
They have mahjong in 14, Final Fantasy 14. Can you teach me how to play mahjong on stream, Zeke? I'd love if you know.
No, I can't.
Okay, you're not in. Okay,
I don't even know if I know how to play.
okay, all right. I thought maybe I would learn.
Basically, it's like, okay, imagine poker. You know how many hands are on poker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like pair, two pair, three
I'm
of a kind.
imagining poker.
Straight,
Yes.
straight flush, quads, and royal flush.
Mhm.
I can name all of them. Now take those 8 whatever hands, multiply that by 7. That's how many hands you have to memorize for mahjong.
Okay.
Good luck.
All right, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Goddamn.
Well, we're a little short on time. We might be able to get through 1 or 2 maybe Crazy Dance questions. Just 30 seconds. Played Bloodstain more. Beat Bloodstain. It's a good game. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Awesome.
How do I talk about this without spoiling? It does the thing that you would expect a Castlevania game to do in terms of not telling you what to do at multiple points in the game. And you have to kind of just figure it out. And there was times where I was like, Chad, I don't know what to do. Like, I've been to every place that I could possibly go. They're like, oh, you have to go to this place and do this thing. And it's the most like, you just have to know. It's like it's kind of cool that stuff exists because it's like old school shit.
Man.
Yeah.
The crystal, kneel at the wall.
It's
whirlwind comes and picks you up.
It's that type of
Okay.
shit. Yeah. It's like such a Castlevania thing to do. We owe Dan a question from last week, so let's start there first.
I'll talk about it more next week. I just
Yeah.
want to let you guys know Sinking City is awesome.
Yeah?
Okay.
Dan was talking about it yesterday. He said he enjoyed it as well. It's a little slow.
Yeah.
He likened it to Vampire. He said it was like similar to
A
Vampire.
little bit more gameplay.
Okay.
But very similar to Vampire. Awesome, very Lovecraftian world. It's pretty cool so far.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
got some issues, jankiness, but we'll talk about it more next week.
Yeah, we'll definitely have a lot of time to talk about it next week and the next month, because aside from Friday, there's very little games coming out in terms of new games.
God,
we're in a
basically
drought.
got a month off.
Yeah, yeah, we are in a drought scenario. I want to get this one question in that we owed from last week. I think this is it. Yeah. Oh, great! It's a follow-up question to the first question from last week. I'll just read it and we'll go from there. There were comments of concern when mentioning losing your ability to play all of your games with a console that streams games. Okay. In terms of like Google Stadia is what he's talking about. Even without such a console, though, does the general concern ever cross your mind of growing a dependence to be constantly connected to the internet and our daily lives? I don't know if it's concern. I definitely think about it in the sense of like what that's going to do to like the human brain in terms of like social media, especially now that kids are getting phones as early as like 8 or 9. I think about what that means for the future generations, because I know that social media in my own life is not necessarily, it is a good tool, but it is very easy to form an addiction, and it's very easy to have it control moods and whatnot. And if people are getting addicted to that or into that at like 8 or 9 and being connected that much to everything else, like, fuck, we are in for some crazy shit in the next, generation or two growing up. But in terms of being connected and having to be connected on a ton of different devices, like, I don't think it'll be strange, at least in our lifetime, to see that, we'll be somehow physically connected in terms of like cybernetic bullshit. If you're reading any of the futurology things, like I think that could definitely happen at some point in our lifetime, 20, 30 years from now.
I mean, not to politicize this, but like one of the big platforms that like people are running for, like the Democrat like conventions or the Democratic candidates are running on, and have mentioned quite a bit, is internet should be a right like electricity or like a service that the country provides you with.
Right.
Should be taken out of the hands of the corporations. And I like the idea that like I've watched a couple of shows about it, and they're talking like about Colorado like making their own ISPs and shit like that. So I think if we continue to go that way, then yes, I think that'll like the dependence will no longer be a concern. It'll just be like walking into anywhere and being like asking, do you have running water? They're like, yes, of course we have running water.
Right.
We're like, we have 4 walls and a roof. We have running water. It's like, do you have internet? Like, yes, of course we do. It's free. It's like provided by the government or whatever.
Yeah. I don't want to get too much into it, but I think like one of Elon Musk's goal is to like launch satellites so that anywhere, literally anywhere in the world, you'll have like true 5G speeds on your phone. So like I think that if the government doesn't get it done, someone will try to get it done, whether it's not or whether or not it's for profit. Will that's on them. But yeah, I think that stuff will exist one day, hopefully. But then you get into the whole idea of like, is it going to be censored? Is it going to be free and open? And that's a whole nother can of worms for sure.
Yeah.
Co, what are your thoughts?
So for me, especially addressing the last part, does the general concern ever cross your mind about the growing dependence to be constantly connected to the internet in our daily lives? I will say that I am definitely in the boat where, although I completely agree with what both of you are saying, I personally think the internet should be a utility. I think that should be a basic connectivity thing. I don't like the idea of potentially having governments get involved and restrict it though, or do it poorly, because that could put us in a worse situation than we're already in.
Absolutely.
But the big thing that I kind of pulled away from that question is a growing dependence to be constantly connected. I think it's kind of scary these days how much that we're reliant on connectivity, especially considering if you really think about how much you use your phone in your daily life. Like, what if somebody just took your phone for 6 hours and you had to do a bunch of the stuff that you do normally? Like, it gets. Sometimes I scare myself thinking about that kind of stuff, especially in terms of
Totally.
of how much I use that connectivity. So with having 2 kids, especially, not having access to that and kind of seeing how they function and interact with the world, I will say that it's concerning at times to see how much and think about how much we absolutely need that connectivity. So I know this probably isn't exactly what they addressed.
No,
at this point.
That's where I took it as well, right off the bat, when I was talking about it for sure.
So I think
it's scary,
cool
man.
that we're moving in that direction. I hope we get to the point where we have direct cybernetic, connectivity where we can just basically link up with humanity. I think that's the kind of thing that's going to cause singularity, if you're familiar with that concept.
Yep.
When we get enough humans networked to the point where we can actually all directly communicate and, something really cool that we can't even consider right now could happen. But getting to that point, and I think most importantly, not letting us get to the point where it is everything, where 80% of us exist on something that can be disconnected at any point. That part to me is definitely scary. And also going back to the more concrete examples, like with the Stadia and stuff, game ownership is a big deal. Like when you buy something, it's actually yours. And the idea of something with Stadia where it's like, you're buying a license to use it when it's working is definitely a concept that has its issues. It comes with its own flaws. So I think it's important we don't really rush into just fully accepting things like that. And maybe as consumers, collectively demanding things like backup copies and things that allow us to actually own what we purchase instead of just, having it work when all the DNS servers happen to be working for that week in 2055, where it's common for DNS servers to get hacked every day. And maybe the internet's on and maybe it's not. Like there's all sorts of things that could throw huge wrenches in that plan.
Yeah.
And I think physicality and remembering that is kind of important too.
Yeah. And in some cases, that's kind of already gone out the window, right? I think this chat's quick to point out, like Steam is just licenses, right? Like there's no physical transaction there.
Very true.
You give them money and you get a license to download that game and a CD key that allows you to pass that license check. And so in some sense, like it's already gone. The physicality of games is kind of out the window. Which is why when things like there was a game that was pulled from Steam, Alpha Protocol, I think, was pulled from Steam like last week, and there's nowhere to get it anymore. And that's kind of it's a crazy thing to think that. I mean, Telltale Games, I think, is also stuff that got pulled at one point or was going to get pulled. I'm not sure the exact state.
The licensing stuff back in the day,
yeah. Like it. Yeah, it could very well occur where a game that you can play with ease today through Steam, through licensing and all that stuff is gone, legitimately gone, unless you're somehow pirating it in the next year or so. And that's just kind of the nature of the beast, which sucks. But
It's the reality of the
Sure
situation.
do like being able to download a game. So
True that.
like,
Art.
it might outweigh the situation of losing them. So we'll see. I don't know. Yeah, PT, another great example. The Konami horror PT game. You can't actually get that anymore unless you had a PlayStation 4 that downloaded it back when it was available.
Oh yeah,
it's gone.
In fact, they would sell PlayStations with that installed on eBay for hundreds and hundreds of dollars over their normal value, just so people could get their hands on that.
Yeah, I have a PS4 somewhere with it, and I
Be right
buried it and broke it in half, and no one will ever experience that game ever again, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
So, anyways, Zeke, any more thoughts? We're a little bit overdue, so we will. I think next week we'll do the 6 questions. We'll devote like 30 minutes or an hour to it, because we'll have some time. But any final thoughts on this, Zeke?
No, I mean, people might be scared of us being too reliant on the internet or whatever, or that we're connected too much. But I mean, what are we doing when we're on the internet? We're connecting with other people. That's okay.
We're being human on the internet.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're being a hive, but we're also like checking Twitter. We're making comments. We're having social interaction.
Also,
Come on, man.
lots of masturbation.
Yeah, lots of porn. It's oodles of porn. Yeah.
What?
Collective global
Yeah,
masturbation.
Twitch just put in a new thing today with subscriber-only streams
Yeah.
that is kind of based off that. So yeah, it's kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I honestly got to give it up. That whole like sentiment was kind of solidified in my head by Adam Conover on Adam Rooms Everything. He was talking about like internet's not that bad, and I was like, you know what, you're right. That's why people are on their phones, because a lot of times they're just like connecting on Facebook or Twitter and that kind of shit. It's like, that's cool.
Yeah, it is indeed. Let's do some shout outs. Zeke, start us off.
Yo, what up, everybody? Want to give a big shout out and thank you to Mr. Happy 1227 for joining us for the first half of the show to talk about and nerd out about Final Fantasy 14. And even though it's sometimes shit ain't my cup of tea, I'm still just as interested to watch people talk about it as most of you are. So if I didn't seem like, if that ever happens, just know like I can be a viewer too and enjoy myself. So hopefully we'll see more of that kind of shit in the future. Thank you to Co and JP as always for being wonderful co-hosts. If you want to see me, I will be live in an hour from now on twitch.tv/tablestory doing that tabletop role-playing game called Nocturne in the Unknown Armies universe. That's the rule set that we're using. So if you want to watch that, that's happening in an hour. If you want to watch me, I'll be live tomorrow at noon Pacific, continuing Judgment subscriber only stream all day.
All day.
If you guys want to, I'm kidding.
All night.
I won't be doing that.
Dude, I
will be doing that. If you want to see Zeke after dark, though,
ooh.
that'll
Check it out.
cost.
I made that joke, Zeke, during the break. There were legitimate people being like, "What the fuck, man? This show's been free for like 2 to 4 years, and now you're just gonna put it in sub-only mode? Like, what?" I had to like quell those fears, but guys, it was a joke. We're not actually doing.
Really?
We're not actually. Yeah, like multiple, like people are really afraid of it. So be careful. Don't joke too much. That's what I'm saying. Cody, you got any jokes? You got any shout outs? He's got none.
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 Not a one. Oh, hi everybody. As always, a big thanks to JP and Zeke, and a special thank you to our guest Zehanort1227. We really appreciate that. My name is Ko. Hi, currently playing Judgment and Sinking City, probably some of the Arabians campaign, and some other stuff as we keep moving through the week. We're also going to be starting our Borderlands franchise run soon for anyone that wants to get caught up on all that sweet Borderlands lore before 3. Oh, yes. But as always, thank you for watching.
Guns on guns. That's Borderlands lore. It's just guns on guns. Sorry, go ahead.
As always, thank you guys for watching and see you next week.
There you go. Sorry to interrupt. That's it. We're out of here. We'll be back next week. It'll be a show. Hopefully this whole thing hasn't burned down by then. We'll see.
We'll see.
I don't know.
If it has, it's been a joy.
It's been a
Thanks,
joy.
guys.
It has indeed.
And I'll see you on Zarth.
Yeah, check out Zarth.tv, the #1 streaming platform for all your non-sub only streams.